Hear ye, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Naruto Had a Very Powerful Ability? Part 8, the end of this What If. Yes, this is going to be the end of this What If, but yeah. But any other further explainment, also no recaps, but yeah, any further explainment, nope. But let me just begin into the What If. But yeah. Also, I should mention part 4 of What If Naruto was the Fox Monarch might be coming out also, and also part 4 for What If Naruto was trained by Kaksu, well, met him and trained, is also going to come out also. Well, later on, but after this What If, I'm just going to go straight on to what's called the Fox Monarch while this is being uploaded, but yeah. But other than that, let me begin so I can finish this What If and go on with the others. I also did uploaded one of the 3K special. I'm actually thinking of redoing it and going on with the fact that I was just a retarded idiot and forgetting like people's names. But yeah, unlike I always do this in multiple times. But yeah, not the point. Let me go into this What If, okay? So we begin into, well, Naruto. Naruto's right now just in kind of the whirlpool. Right now he's talking to Shiroi and Shiroi is talking to him. Of course, Shiroi has become, well, a very kind of tall female. She's 5'8", very slim, and of course, this is where, well, she has palish skin, silverish eyes, whitish hair, of course, very long whitish hair, like it goes all the way down to her waist. And of course, this is where, well, she is right now talking to, well, Naruto. Naruto's a slim-built person who is, well, he's 17. Both Shiroi and Naruto are 17. But of course, Naruto is not 5'8", but instead 6'1". I think I mentioned this also. He's 6'1". He is slim built, kind of like he's similar to like Gojo, what Gojo kind of looks like. But his hair is yellow-black, but it's actually longer. Kind of like, it's fully black, but the spikes of his hair is kind of like a little bit yellow. It's long. Of course, it's kind of like, I would say kind of Izuna long a little bit, but yeah. It's kind of that long, but yeah. Of course, well, he hasn't really cut it in a while, but he doesn't really care. He can actually imagine his hair into any style, whichever he wants. But yeah, he just imagine it like this. Of course, well, he has black shades, and of course, well, he's not wearing a mask or anything. He's just wearing a scarf right now near his neck. And of course, the wind is kind of blasting what's called the scarf to the side of him. But yeah, this is where, well, Naruto is just talking to Shiroi, and Shiroi is kind of asking him and what they should do. This is where, well, Shiroi kind of did confess her feelings one time about what she wants to do with Naruto, and that is basically kind of have children with him. Of course, well, Naruto says to hold on with that because, well, he still needs to take out the Akatsuki. He knows about the Akatsuki, and yes, he does have an alliance with the, well, Raikage and the Sand Kage, mostly the Kazekage, because, well, Gaara is super grateful for him for kind of like sealing the beach away permanently and getting rid of his father, his abusive asshole father. Of course, the Raikage is just okay with, what's it called, a kind of like trade system, and also with the alliance. You see here, the Raikage is fine because you see here, he has the powers of the old village called the Fire Village, mostly the kind of Leaf Village, mostly the Fire Nation. But yeah, he got some of their clans, their best clans, except the Senju one. But yeah, of course, there wasn't much of a problem in actually getting an actual new Senju into what's it called, the Cloud Village. But that's the point. How did that work? Well, Naruto can legit imagine people with also Kekkei. He found out he can actually do a lot of shit with his imagination now. Thanks to his eyes are much more advanced than just his normal ones. They are called the running six eyes. But yeah, of course, well, mostly running Sharingan six eyes. But yeah, don't worry about those. Of course, well, Naruto knows a lot about the whole world. Of course, he did manage to create what it cost someone to be a Senju. Of course, after creating this one person to have the basically abilities of a Senju, basically having wood style, he has a higher chance to actually having children with wood style. So of course, well, the Raikage is grateful for that. He's also grateful for the fact that he has the Uchiha, the last Uchiha. Yes, Sasuke Uchiha. Of course, well, for for one reason, the Raikage didn't actually care about the Uchiha clan that much. Well, he did. He just didn't want Sasuke to be like the kind of, well, builder of the Uchiha, because Sasuke was kind of, well, when he got older and all that, he still was very rebellious and didn't want to like give any children. And so when the Raikage asked Naruto again, when Naruto was at 16 and all that, yes, he was the age when the Raikage kind of asked for this. Of course, where Naruto kind of like took the DNA, he was actually able to do that with his 6 eyes. Mostly his running Sharingan 6 eyes. He managed to take the DNA from, well, Sasuke and then put it onto some, well, person. Of course, this is where, well, this person was able to now unlock the Sharingan and other things. But of course, had the genes of the, well, Uchiha. Is where this person decided to build the clan while keeping Sasuke in jail and rotting forever. Naruto didn't give a shit about this person. Of course, before Naruto left, Naruto basically sent 2 black rods into Sasuke's eye socket and just stabbing them. Stabbing his precious 3-to-1 Sharingans out. Yeah, Naruto didn't give a shit. He always hated Sasuke. Of course, well, Sasuke is basically just running in jail. Now, of course, the Raikage is also happy that he has the Hyuga, and also the, well, what's it called? Another clan that was actually created by another person. So, of course, Kai was the other clan. It's basically the same thing as the Hyuga, but just completely different. And the reason why is because the the Hyugas contain of Hinata and Hanabi being kind of in that clan. Of course, they have less power than the Kaime. The Kaime is basically Neji. And Neji does have what's it called? One of the most powerful Byakugans. Because you see here, when he had well, not really had a children right now he kind of did get a protection from Naruto from his eyes, because Naruto did kind of got asked by Neji about how the bloodline would kind of work. Would they still be a Hyuga, or what they call a Hyuga, or would they just have the similar powers of him? That's where Naruto explains that, well, Neji, he could have gotten any other element, which Naruto did kind of put that into Neji's DNA when he was kind of like releasing the cage bird and also giving him the element. Of course, well, when he was doing that, he also accidentally kind of added other elements into Neji, but Neji's highest infinity was lightning, because it was going to be the original infinity if he actually did train into elements. His highest would be lightning. So, of course, with the other elements are in with Neji, but Neji can't really unlock them. Well, he can, but it's going to take longer than just using his lightning one. Of course, the element one is just like a somewhat Keigo Kenkai. Well, somewhat. It's kind of like if he had other kids, the other kids of Neji won't just have just straight up lightning with their infinity, like a high lightning. Unless he kind of did it with someone who actually also had high lightning. That child will probably have high lightning. No, if Neji had a child with someone, that child won't just have high lightning. It will have a different element from just Neji, like fire. If they have high fire element, their Byakugan won't be like Neji's, but instead being able to kind of see heat vision, like heat ray vision, like to able to see the heat in people and all that. You know how heat sensitivity work? That's how the kid will work. Like say if they were in water, they'd be able to see clear in water, like crystal clear in water. If they had a high infinity for water, like say that they have a high infinity for earth, they can actually see, well, any material underground, like be able to see the materials that are underground. If they had earth element, a high affinity earth element, if they had a high affinity to wind element, they would be able to see things kind of faster. Well, not faster much, but well, not faster. Mostly kind of being able to kind of well, not faster. It's similar to the original Byakugan, how they can see kind of at a range and all that. But if they had a high wind infinity, they'd be actually able to surpass the normal Byakugan to actually see further. But yeah, of course, well, that's the elements that Naruto talked about. Of course, Neji then asked, well, who he actually get married with. It's where Naruto actually keeps that secret and actually just says, oh, probably no one. This is where Neji knows that he's bullshitting, but Naruto just doesn't want to say anything. This is where, well, Neji kind of hates Naruto, but yeah. This is, of course, that's, well, the, it's not really called the what's it called? It's not really called the Kyle clan. It's mostly because Neji's name is a Kyle clan from the fact it's Neji Kyle instead of Neji Hyuga. From the reason that he's able to be the only one with this lightning infinity and his Byakugan and all that. His high lightning infinity and this Byakugan. Well, yeah, it's kind of a mix and all that. Merge. Of course, the original clan name would just be, well, the actual name of the clan will actually be called Yoso because the children will actually be born with Pacific High Infinity. They cannot be born with actually two infinities. Well, I mean, they probably will. It's just Naruto didn't see that far into the future. Well, he kind of knows it, but he doesn't just say anything out loud unless he's gonna get information back. But yeah. Or unless it just helps him, but he doesn't really care. Of course, this one, well, those are kind of like the basic kind of the Byakugan. If I do kind of make it into, well, what's it called, the series go into parts on such a pudding, I might do that, but not really. Maybe I'll just do it like a, what's it called, a spin-off. Not really, I'm just kidding. But of course, we go back into what if. Of course, this is where Neji is right now in the, what's it called, Cloud Village. Right now talking to Samui. Now, Samui is, well, the height of, well, 5'8", while Neji is actually the height of 5'10". So yeah, they are, well, both 17, and of course, where Samui is kind of talking to Neji about the fact that he should be able to have a, what's it called, strong child with lightning. And this is where, well, Neji says, yeah, I guess so. Of course, Neji still believes Fate a little bit, not much. Of course, he doesn't really just believe in it that much, but yeah. Of course, next to him is actually Tenten. And Tenten has actually, well, doesn't really have her hair into buns. It's mostly actually let go and all that. Mostly kind of having it down to her kind of like, it's actually down to her shoulders and all that. Just let go because then she kind of asked her to do that. But yeah, Tenten is actually being helped in the, what's it called, Cloud Village by kind of being somewhat of a weapon specialist. Like, she actually works in different weapons. And she's able to kind of work on this type of weapons because she didn't really want to be a Kunoichi that much. But of course, Kunoichi would have been good in the Leaf Village, like getting paid well. But being in a weapon smith and all that, in the Cloud Village is actually getting paid much better than in the Leaf Village. Of course, this is where, well, she's pretty good at making weapons and all that. This is where, well, she actually did make two weapons for Neji. Neji has two Tantos like next to him that were actually created with a high, not high infinity lightning metal. It was called chakra metal, but it was called lightning chakra metal. Of course, that's where Neji can use this lightning to these Tantos to cut at people so quick that they won't be able to see what the fuck happened. But yeah, Samui also has a Tanto, but she has a longer medium katana. But yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Tenten is mostly talking to them, and yeah. That's where, we go into Shikamaru right now. Shikamaru is right now in the Cloud Village, and of course, Shikamaru is right now on top of one of the mountain kind of hills. Well, not hills, mostly mountain sides, mostly in his house and all that, and sleeping. But yeah. This is where Choji kind of goes to the other side of, well, because it's kind of like a house and inside of what's it called, a mountain and all that. And of course, Choji opens the door and says, hey, Shikamaru, I got food. But yeah, Choji and Shikamaru are actually tuning rank. Of course, Shikamaru, he still represents, what's it called, the Naruto clan. And of course, Choji is the same with the, what's it called, Akamichi. But yeah, of course, well, they're kind of with those two clans still. They still have them, and yeah. But of course, they actually have their clans much stronger. Because he's here. See here, with the Naruto clan, with Naruto kind of helping both of them, he actually gave him a two Pacific element into their DNA. The Naruto clan are able to possess shadows, so like being able to use shadow manipulation and all that. Naruto decides to change, well, the structure of shadow element to actually being an actual element into the narwhals, which they'll be able to manipulate it into actually making swords or anything from shadows. But yeah, of course, being much easier than just going through hand signs and kind of trying to use shadows to just paralyze people or whatever. This is where, well, Shikamaru's right now yawning, saying, so what did you get, Choji? Choji says, oh, well, I got some stuff. Now, Choji, not Aburame, Akamichi has actually also a special element infused with him that's actually able to be kind of metal. Now, he can actually expand his body and, of course, able to transform his like hands or any type of body part into steel. But yeah, of course, think of it like if he's coating himself with Armorman Hawking, and he's like, what's it called, the Gum person named Luffy. But no, it's not like that. He can also kind of stretch his like arms similar to like Luffy, but yeah. And yes, I am kind of copying some of the well, I mean not copying, mostly he has similar abilities to like Luffy, but he doesn't have an effect. Well, he doesn't really have an effect to water and all that, and he doesn't have armor and hawking or any type of hawking. He just has this steel ability, or mostly metallic ability, to actually coat his hands into a special type of metal. Any type of metal he really just has on him right now. Like, think of kunais, he can just transform his hands into like kunai steel, whatever, or whatever. This is what, well, Choji's right now yawning, saying, oh, well, I got this type of food and all that. They're right now eating, but yeah. This is where, well, we go into Shino Aburame. Shino is right now just talking to someone who was kind of in the Cloud Village and kind of interests him a lot. This is where, well, they're both basically talking. Shino has a infused element also inside him. Shino has his bugs, of course, but he also has the infused element that's also infused with the bugs. And that is the element, what's it called, and that element is actually venom. His bugs actually transform into being very venomous. Of course, it's similar to like snakes and other things like spiders and all that. But of course, he's able to send his bugs. Of course, they can actually move pretty damn quick. Even though they're infused with venom, like a very high affinity to venom and all that, they also have a small affinity to light. And that just being able to move quicker. Yes, Shino can actually move quicker thanks to Naruto. Also, Shino can actually use his bugs and actually transform into a specific bug of whichever he needs. Either the wings or like the arm or anything, like transform his arm into a specific like claw like one of his bugs, or even like transform his back into having wings similar to like a bug. Think of it like the, what's it called, Seven Tails. How she can actually use, well, to call her Seven Tails Bijou to pull out wings, like the wing bug or whatever, the wings up there. Of course, Shino can do this, but he can also kind of like transform specific parts of his body into the bug type, but yeah. Of course, he's right now talking to a girl who kind of has these goggles that has kind of multiple holes and all that. Well, not multiple holes, kind of like these little bit mirrors, kind of goggles and all that. I don't know how to explain, but yeah. Of course, they're yellow, and of course they reflect and showing that there's like a lot of images where she's looking. She's seeing Shino, but yeah. Of course, well, she has what's it called, like this yellow outfit, and of course, well, she has an ability called almost similar to the Aburame, but kind of different. Her bugs that she specialized, because yes, she's actually specialized in bugs, is, well, wasp. Now, of course, she can kind of transform her body into kind of like a wasp and all that, being able to have the wings and other things like the venom in there. But yeah, she can control different types of wasp, like killer wasp, whatever type of wasp. Okay, just any type. Of course, well, she is right now just talking to Shino about it. Of course, we go into, well, Hinata and Hanabi. Hinata didn't want it to kind of like birth any kids, but yeah, of course, they didn't really have the right, and they really didn't give a shit that much the what's it called, Cloud Village, because they wanted Hyugas. But this is where, well, when what's it called, the Raikage was thinking about it, he then thought of just letting them be in the village instead of just forcing them to have what they call multiple children. And instead, he just let them be in the village without chakra. Of course, this is where Hinabi kind of managed to find someone interesting, but yeah, to talk to. But of course, Hinata still had this kind of whole arrogance thing about she's angry for the fact that Naruto destroyed the Leaf Village and other things. But yeah, the fact that, well, what's it called? The Raikage didn't really care about what's it called, the Hyugas right now important about the population. The most important population about who he actually cared was actually, well, Neji. Neji can kind of be able to bring out the population of the Yosho clan. But yeah, it was mostly his original clan, since of the imbued elements. Of course, most of the Raikage doesn't really care about the others, like Naruto and the others. Well, then he does, mostly in like first priority to the Yosho clan, basically Neji's clan, his actual newest clan. Of course, the other Hyugas there were mostly the side branch members and all that. They're all living in what's called the Cloud Village, just all over. They're not really staying in one specific place, but yeah, they're all over the fucking Cloud Village. Of course, they kind of talk to normal people instead of having to stick up their ass because, well, they can actually be relaxed, chill, and all them other things. But yeah, of course, well, first priority is the Yosho clan. Then the second priority are, well, somewhat the less major clans like the Narutos, but they're still very powerful in their own rights thanks to Naruto. But of course, the Aburame and even the Akamichi, and then the, well, mostly not third, but the first one was already complete. Mostly the Senju's birthday and even the Uchiha, but yeah, like last year, but yeah. Of course, this is mostly when almost all of them are kind of 17, but yeah, or mostly the 5th year because this was a 5-year time skip and all that. Of course, well, Naruto, we go into Naruto. Naruto is kind of thinking about the others in right now the Cloud Village. Of course, he also has talked to, well, the Kazekage in the Sand Village. And of course, have met what's it called, well, the Kazekage's crazy sister, mostly Tomari. Now, Tomari has kind of became really lonely for what's called, well, not meeting Shikamaru. But, well, she has, it's just, she doesn't know who to actually marry. But yeah, of course, Naruto doesn't really care about her because Naruto just doesn't give a shit that much. The only reason he visits the Sand Village is just for some trade things and some other things that he might need from the Sand Village, but that's all. Of course, the Kazekage does give him the supplies, and Naruto does trade also the supplies because he thinks, well, Naruto can, like, imagine it, but sometimes it's such a drag for him to actually imagine it. So instead, he just decides to build it and actually, well, kind of put papers into how to actually make this. Because when he uses the imaginary ability, he kind of knows how it's kind of built, yes, but some of the material to actually build it, it's kind of something that doesn't actually exist unless Naruto makes it exist. But yeah, of course, he's trying to just make it into an actual basic material that you can find almost anywhere and what's it called, any place, instead of his just imagination, kind of imagining a material to just appear out of nowhere. Because he knows that he won't be able to live so long in the near future. Not from the Akashi trying to take him out, he just has no problem with the Akashis. Just for the new Uzumaki generation. Because yes, he is going to kind of try to rebuild the Uzumaki clan, but yeah. Well, not Uzumaki clan, mostly changing the Uzumaki clan to another clan. Instead of rebuilding for Uzumakis and all them other things, he's actually going to just rebuild for his newest clan. For a newer type of clan that he's still trying to think of what type of abilities they should have. But yeah, of course, well, Naruto's thinking about this, but yeah. Of course, well, I should mention about the Sound 4 and 5. I didn't really mention them last time, but they did get killed from the fact of Shoroi, but yeah. Of course, now we go into a time skip about a week later. This is where, the Akashi is there to attack the Kazekage, but the Kazekage is not that worried about the Akashis, because for one thing, when the Akashis tried to attack mostly Deidara and Sasori, Of course, Deidara sent bombs and sorcery started trying to use his puppets to attack Kankuro and Tamari. This is where Gaara wasn't that worried, because there's one thing and one thing only. A giant mole appears. This is where, well, it wasn't a big ass mole, it was still just a medium mole, but of course the mole managed to kind of grab Deidara, well not Deidara, mostly grab Sorcery and pull him underground, but yeah, Deidara was confused and says, what the fuck was that? This is where Gaara now just needs to deal with one problem. You see here, Gaara kind of lets the moles that are usually a summoning creature. The only thing that he kind of provides those resources to Naruto, but also gets a protection of the mole summoning. This is where, well, the moles are okay living somewhere in the sand, sand kind of area, like the desert and all that, because when they dig underground, it's kind of a cool, nice place to be at, and material and mineral in there. At the sand is pretty damn good, but yeah. This is where, well, this mole mostly grabbed sorcery and did bury him alive, meaning to crush him also because the mole was pretty strong and tough and all them other things because of his claws. This is where, well, Deidara is blasting what's called Gaara away, but Gaara isn't affected much, mostly using sand and all that, and using it pretty damn easily. This is where Deidara says, I won't die. He says, I won't die because art. It's an explosion. This is where, well, Gaara managed to wrap him around, and this is where, well, Deidara says, fine. Then I'll show you what the true explosion is. Cuts. This is where, well, the sand exploded, but this is where, well, Deidara noticed one thing. Sandpapers were all around him. And what I mean sandpapers, I mean paper, bombs, all around him. This is where, well, he says, wait, what the And this is where, well, Gaara says, cuts. Boom! Blasting Deidara right now down to the ground. This is where Deidara was shocked. This is where, well, the sand all around Gaara is, what's it called, just floating around him. This is where, well, Deidara says, I won't lose. Because this is where he goes to hand signs and makes a giant explosion and says, I will blow up the village with you along. Gaara says, great. Seems like a problem. A problem, well, only one person can do. This is what, well, mostly, salute mostly or finishes. This is where Gaara grabs this kind of like brownish color crystal and cracks it and just throws it at the C4 bomb. This is where, well, Naruto's right now just talking Shoroi until his crystal kind of cracks and all that. One of them that he had, mostly dirt and all that. And of course, it was brownish color. Of course, he disappeared. And of course, reappear right in front of the, well, giant explosion. And says, lightning infinity, lightning obliteration, cancel. Boom! He destroys the C4 in an instant. And then sees Deidara and sends a lightning bolt straight to Deidara's heart. Right now, stopping it. This is where, well, mostly just hitting his heart and stopping his whole body by paralyzing it. This is where, well, Naruto lands it on a building. Right now, kind of looking behind him and seeing Gaara. Gaara kind of smirks, and this is where, well, Naruto disappears. But yeah, this is where, well, mostly those crystals, Naruto kind of did give them out towards, well, mostly the Kages. In any dire situation, they should be able to summon Naruto. Like, if they crack the crystal, they can be able to summon it. But yeah, of course, when they summon what's it called, either Naruto or even Shoroi, but yeah, it's mostly silver crystals that they have are mostly containing Shoroi. These brownish kind of, well, element crystals, or mostly Gaara's case, is kind of brownish color, kind of like bluish a little bit. It's mostly Naruto's crystal. It's kind of a crystal that Naruto kind of made just for the crystal that he has a connection with them. This is what, well, it's mostly like teleportation. If the crystal fully cracked, when dispersed and all that, of what's it called, Naruto's own crystal from, well, someone else cracking the crystal on the other side of the world, he is teleported forcibly. But yeah, of course, well, Naruto's fine with it, but yeah, it's just to get somewhere quicker. But yeah, the Kages has, well, 3 of each, mostly 3 crystals in total. Like the right Kage has a kind of yellowish bluish color. Of course, Naruto also has a yellowish bluish color with him, mostly around his buckle, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly if it's crystal breaks, like I already mentioned, he'll be able to teleport either to, well, from Whirlpool towards the Cloud Village, or Whirlpool towards Gaara's village, whichever one of them cracks a crystal. But yeah, or it can be just Gara cracks a crystal and of course gets to teleport towards the Sand Village, and when the Raikage cracks his own crystal, he is teleported to the Cloud Village. But yeah, of course, those are the only two online he has with. But yeah, of course, Naruto, he then disappears after cracking his own crystal and appearing, well, not really cracking his own crystal, mostly just disappearing, using a very advanced flying Raijin. Now, this flying Raijin, it was similar towards his like father, but he hates using it half the damn time. But of course, he just appears, well, or not uses the flying Raijin. He kind of makes a portal and then disappears from it. But yeah, he mostly goes back to the whirlpool. But yeah, this is where Shodai says, so is it time for us to hunt the Akatsuki? Naruto says, yep, I'm gonna go take out the leader. This is where, well, Shodai says, fine, then I'll go take out the underlings. What about the Cloud Village? I already sent a message. Almost a guard should be, but whatever. We go into a time skip of 5 days. Naruto is now at the Rain Village, and of course when he's walking through the Rain Village, the water is dropping on him. Mostly the raindrops are dropping on him, but it doesn't hit him, it mostly extinguishes. That's why, well, the sensory of what's it called, the Six Paths of Pain, aren't really being able to sense where Naruto's at, or even know who entered much. They just see some kind of anomaly enter or whatever. That's where Naruto appears right in front of Nagato. And Nagato was right now just sitting there, of course having his eyes closed. And this is where, well, Konan kind of turns around because she was looking at the rain. And this is where she sees, wait, who are you? She says, towards Naruto. Naruto turns around and says, oh, the name is Naruto. Naruto, don't know. That's where Naruto gets, what's it called? He says, repulsion. This is where, well, not repulsion. He says, what's it called? Attraction. This is where he actually pulls, what's it called? Well, Nagato out of the kind of like, fucking machine or whatever the hell it's called. Of course, Naruto pulls him right in front of him, grabbing him from the head, and that's where Naruto says, die and perish. Lightning. Murder. Erasement. This is where, well, or not erasement, deletion. This is where white lightning crackles around Naruto's hand, and right now just sends it straight through, well, what's it called, Nagato's body, destroying the Rinnegan and also destroying Nagato's body. This is where Konan tries to attack Naruto. This is where Naruto says, flaming, flames of, well, he says, white flames of destruction. This is where he just snaps his fingers, and this is where Konan actually burns in an instant. Right now, transforming into white flames. This is where Naruto goes down towards what's called the Six Paths of Pain, and just destroys the robotics. This is where Naruto says, well, that was pathetic. This is where we go into a hunt of the Akatsuki. This is where Shiroi managed to find, well, what's it called? Hidan and Kakuzu. Of course, not just Shiroi kind of finding what's it called, Hidan and Kakuzu. Tomari and Samurai also finding what's it called, well, the Akatsuki. Mostly finding what's it called, Hidan and Kakuzu, because they kind of had the two tails. This is where, well, Hidan says, interesting, sacrifices I see. Ha 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 ha. This is where, well, he gets his head cut off in an instant. And right now just gets blasted away by wind. This is where mostly his head and his body then gets kind of like lightning hit, but mostly kicked away. This is where, well, Hidan says, Kakuzu! This is where Kakuzu says, fucking hell, you idiot. Shiroi knows about the weakness for the Hidan and also the weakness of Kakuzu. Yes, Naruto did tell her, and mostly all the weaknesses of the different Akatsuki, but yeah. This is where, well, Kakuzu rushes out, what's it called, the three of them, and this is where both of them, well, all three of them are dodging. This is where Shiroi, right now her sword transforms into a whitish glow, and this is where she says, white serpent, what's it called, cut. This is where a white serpent actually appears, and tries to cut out, well, what's it called, mostly rip and tear, what's it called, Kakuzu. Kakuzu dodges, but this is where someone throws her Tonto, that's right now crackling with lightning, hits him in the heart, and this is where one of his hearts breaks. It's like, damn it. I see they're going after my hearts. Interesting. Are they? Or could that just be a possible? This is where Tomari says, wind style, wind silver obliteration. This is where, well, she swings her fan right in front of what's called Kakuzu. Kakuzu gets hit, but of course he's not affected thanks to he added what's called the black wires down to the ground. just stuck them there. This is where he tries to punch at Tamari, but this is where, well, Shiroi appears, stabbing him in the back. Right now, stabbing his heart. That's right now in the kind of like bottom right of him. But yeah, this is where, well, Katsu coughs up blood, and this is where Tamari says, this is where, well, she then uses her fan, mostly the back handle, the one where the handle's at mostly, and just kind of slams it into, well, Katsu's kind of chest. This is where his heart kind of, mostly the mask, starts kind of breaking a little bit. This is where he says, no, you don't. You. This is where someone says, lightning style. This is where she has her medium sword. Lightning style. A lightning Zeus cut. This is where, well, she appears behind Katsu, and then reappears in front of him. This is where, well, behind him is a large slash that's mostly 2D. Of course, this is where, well, Naruto is just kind of like right now in the rain village, and this is where, well, he then dispels the rain, but yeah, of course, this is where Samui did manage, well, let me go back to Samui. Samui did manage to do a cut from, well, the right shoulder down all the way to the left, well, waist. This is where managing her medium katana managed to cut, well, both of the hearts in half, mostly the two leftover mask. This is where Kakuzu exploded, well, mostly kind of almost died before, well, his other heart was stabbed with a small kunai that had one chakra kind of going through because he had another heart. He didn't just have 4, he had 5. But yeah, he had 5 in total, but yeah. That's where, well, he coughs up blood, and of course he dies. But yeah, because that's his weakness of his ability. But yeah, that's where, well, he just gets destroyed. Of course, well, all 3 of them then just like jumps away from, well, mostly Kaku's body. And this is where, well, Shiroi kind of right now makes this like white spear of, well, mostly nature energy. And of course, where, well, she says white serpent, a silver ray. This is where, well, this white ball appears. Or mostly she says silver bomb. This is where, well, somebody says lightning style, lightning storm strucker. This is where mostly the sky becomes into a dark cloud and all that. And of course, this is where lightning starts crackling from the sky. This is where, well, Tamari says wind style, wind obliteration. This is where, well, wind is right now just kind of being around her. And of course, they all throw it at what's called Kakuzu's body and destroy him in an instant, just so no one be able to resurrect them. But yeah, of course, well, we go into what's called the next people. This one, Nachi, Shikamaru, Shino, and even what's it called, well, Choji appears right now in the middle of a fight. Well, not in the middle of the fight, mostly meeting up with, well, Kasame, because they know all 4 of them need to take out Kasame. And right now, Itachi's right now in the Cloud Village, finding, well, his brother, is what they call youngest brother, and having what they call his eyes right now pierced. That's where, well, that's where Sasuke says, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to anyone. Unlike Naruto, I'll kill him for taking out my eyes. This is where, well, Itachi hears this and says, that bastard. He heard of Naruto and how powerful he is. He is considered an S-rank ninja, but shouldn't be taken lightly. That's where, well, when Itachi turns around just so he can actually leave Sasuke there, but before leaving Sasuke, he didn't want to leave him. So of course he was about to open the cell until the cell kind of lectured him. That's where he turns around and sees none other than Naruto. You see here, the Raikage knew about Itachi's presence being here in the Cloud Village, but he told his ambush and no one to actually attack him mostly. That's where, well, Naruto was teleported to this place, thanks to the crystals. That's where Naruto says, hello there, Itachi. The most powerful Genjutsu user. What an interesting thing I ever saw in my sight. This is where when Itachi looks at Naruto's eyes, he can see the Rinnegan, but the Rinne Sharingan. with his all well 6 eyes. This is where Itachi then uses what's called Tsukiyomi, mostly implement not implement Tsukiyomi on Naruto, and it doesn't do jack shit. Naruto's walking closer, and of course this is where Itachi tries to put Naruto under a small genjutsu, and then rush towards Naruto, even though when Naruto looks sees right now in front of him, or should have seen in front of him, is a standstill Itachi. This is where Naruto blocks a kunai attack from, Itachi mostly grabbing that shit. And this is where Naruto's like, you are really bad, Itachi. You think that your eyes, your pathetic MS eyes can actually affect me? They're doing nothing to me. This is where Naruto, he still has Itachi's arm, and this is where Itachi tries to get away from Naruto's grasp. But of course, this is where Naruto breaks the arm. Of course, Itachi's kind of screaming. Of course, he tried to use the Tsukuyomi again on Naruto, but doesn't do jack shit. Naruto says, Tsukiyomi, such a powerful genjutsu, but it doesn't do jack shit to me. You know what, Itachi, you know how the Tsukiyomi can affect mental mind and all that? I'm about to affect you in real life. This is where Naruto says, Domain style, Tsukiyomi. This is where a dark dome actually appeared on both the sides. Mostly, each side of what's it called, Itachi. Itachi says, what is this? This is where he's right now strapped into a cross and realizes that this is the Tsukiyomi. But this is where Naruto says, oh, and if you think we're going to stay here in 72 hours and just into your mental state, it's a lie. This is all real life. You can feel this pain. You can feel it all you want. You can think this is an illusion, but it's not. This is where Naruto pulls out a black rod, because that's in there, and stabs it into Itachi. Itachi starts screaming, but of course, outside the dark dome, no one can actually hear the, what's it called, screams. This is the same technique that Naruto did to that Kazekage. And no one knows what Naruto actually did, but yeah. So of course, it's a mystery kind of jutsu that Naruto kind of created. It's where, Naruto is hurting Itachi in so many ways. This is where, Naruto is stabbing him, burning him with a rod, stabbing him with a lightning rod, stabbing him with multiple things. And of course, no one outside can hear it. Of course, this is where, Itachi says, stop it, you monster. Stop it. You people are going after the Bijus. I'm basically stopping you from going after the Bijus. But if you want me to stop, I can stop. This is where the dome actually kind of breaks, and then let's go with Itachi. And Itachi is right now all weakened and hurt. This is where, he was in that fucking dome for more than just 72 hours, for at least 120 hours. Yes, Naruto was kind of torturing Itachi with such a painful, nothing that he can imagine. This is where, Itachi is trying to get up, and this is where Naruto fucking kicks him in the face, kind of pushing him back down. This is where Itachi, you monster, you're truly a monster. I am a monster, but at least I'm not a dead monster. Just like your teammate, Kisame. This is where Naruto, kind of like, just snaps his fingers, and this is where, the head of Kisame is right now rolling down, or mostly being tossed and rolling next to, Naruto, and basically being right next to Itachi. Itachi's one good eye, is right now just looking at his teammate's head being ripped. Of course, where Kisame also has cut around his head. It's where, Itachi sees how Kisame's lifeless eyes didn't seem to be going out in actually a peaceful way. That's where 4 people appear behind Naruto. Mostly, what's it called? Shikamaru, Shino, and even, Choji, and even, being Neji there. That's where Neji, he's covered with blood, but it's not his own blood. It's mostly, all of them are covered with blood. Mostly somewhat their own blood at the same time, Kisame's blood. We go into an actual recap and what happened. They appear and of course fight against Kisame. Kisame tries to use his what's called, mostly the sword that he has, the Semihara, and try to absorb the chakra. But of course, Neji managed to use his lightning gentle fist to actually destroy the electrons, or not electrons, mostly kind of matter that's in Semihara, to make it kind of paralyzed and unable to absorb, what's it called, chakra. Of course, Shikamaru managed to use the shadows to kind of fight with, and not unstable Semihara, mostly a, useless Semihara, but yeah, and managed to cut it down with his shadows. This is where Shino uses bugs to try to paralyze and inject venom into, Kisame also absorbed the chakra. Of course, Kisame realized that this is the worst encounter because one can actually absorb the chakra thanks to the bugs and also paralyze him. Well, he paralyzed one of his arms. Of course, then there's the Hyuga, but the Hyuga is more advanced. The Narwhal is more advanced than a normal Narwhal, and then there's the Akamichi that right now transformed big and sent a steel punch at him, knocking them down to the ground. And of course, he's right now being attacked from each side. And of course, Shikamaru has a large kind of dark sword right now, cutting his head, not clean, but just ripping it in shreds because it had multiple spikes. This is where, mostly thorns into the sword, but yeah, just shredding, but yeah. Of course, we go back into Naruto. This is where Itachi says, "You're a monster." Naruto says, "Yeah, I am a monster, but you're dead anyway." Naruto, he stabs, before stabbing Itachi, he actually grabs one of the rods, mostly he tells Neji to come over here and kind of unlock the door from Sasuke, and Sasuke is kind of being dragged out. Of course, the rod is kind of like pulled out of one of his eye sockets. Of course, where Naruto recreated one of his eyes, and of course, where Sasuke is shocked to see what's in front of him. This is where Naruto's smiling, saying, "Hey, Sasuke, it looks like I've created one of your new eyes." Well, it doesn't have anything special, it's just a normal black regular eye. There's really no Sharingan or anything you have. But you know what's fun? To see your older brother, the one you had to be revenger for, being killed in front of you. This is where, Naruto stabs a black rod into Itachi's neck, fully killing him. Well, not into his neck, mostly into his head, mostly through his mouth, throughout the brain and the back of his head. This is where, Itachi dies with his lifeless eyes looking at, Sasuke. Sasuke screams, "No!" And this is where, Naruto looks at, Neji and kind of uses a finger to kind of go sing, of course, like towards his neck and all that. And of course, Neji knew what he was talking about. This is where Neji's hand becomes a lightning coated of green and just cuts Sasuke's head off. This is where, Sasuke is not really needed to bring back the Uchiha clan, but yeah. Neither is Itachi when Naruto can just recreate people having the Uchiha's health, but yeah. This is what Naruto says. "Well, only be that good. He have got rid of the Akashis." "Oh, did we though?" This is where Naruto, he snapped his fingers, and this is where Black Zetsu and White Zetsu appears. This is where, Naruto says, "You all can deal with him." This is where, before Black and White Zetsu can actually absorb back to the ground, they're actually unable to do it, thanks to Naruto's ability to actually get rid of them. Their own ability. This is where Naruto actually imagine their own ability not to be able to use, kind of erasing it permanently. This is where Black and White Zetsu widen their eyes, and of course, where Black Zetsu says, "No, I can't die." This is where he's right now being attacked by Shikamaru, Choji, Shino, and of course, this is where Neji. Naruto disappears and reappears right in front of Obito. Obito says, "What? Who are you?" He's now right in front of what they call Zaina because, Toby, or also known as Mother, also known as Obito, tries to attack Zaina and try to use her as a hostage situation for, Naruto. Problem is Naruto is like 8 steps ahead of Obito. This is where Obito knew that he wouldn't be able to take out Naruto the regular way. He kind of known that Zaina had a crush on him, so of course tried to use her as such a hostage situation. Of course, Naruto appears right now, being in front of Zaina, and of course Naruto says, "Oh, you actually became more beautiful than normal." Zaina says, "Shut up and fucking fight him." This is where her face is red and all that. This is where Naruto smiles and says, "Sure, I'll do that." This is where Naruto, he kind of appears right in front of Obito. Obito tries to use his Kamui, but Naruto appears really fast, grabbing him from the face and launching him up in the sky. Obito's right now in the sky, but of course he has his Kamui ability right now activated. And this is where Naruto says, "You think this Kamui ability will be able to be strong enough when I can just do this?" This is where Naruto, he sends a blade straight towards Obito. Obito says, "You should know that my ability, I can go tangible." But this is where the blade stabs through him. This is where Obito is shocked. He's like, "How is that possible?" Naruto then sends a kind of like this small black rod towards Obito's head, of course cracking the mask and destroying it. This is where Obito widens his eyes and says, "What? No, you can't do this to me." This is where, Naruto says, no, but I can do this. Let me show you the true meaning of your life. This is where Obito says, huh? What are you? This is where, well, the only thing that Obito sees is everything and nothing at the same time. Naruto says, domain of, well, everything. This is where, well, this kind of domain was created from Naruto's imagination, from all the knowledge he kind of learned over the whole fucking years. This is where he also learned about Obito's tragic story and all them other things. This is where, well, Obito realized that he was tricked by Madara. And this is where Naruto just shoved his hand through Obito, taking out his heart, ripping it out and destroying it. And this is where Naruto says, well, goodbye, fallen hero. This is where, well, Naruto then uses his right hand right near Obito's neck to just kind of rip it apart. But yeah, this is where, well, Obito is killed, and of course Obito is just shocked to believe that Rin was actually killed by Madara, thanks to the implantment. But yeah, that's what, well, Naruto said, well, he's ripped. After the Akatsuki, I should be dealing with those idiots. That's what, well, Naruto disappears, and of course reappears right in front of Ishiki and the others, and of course Naruto says, well, here you go. Black hole. This is where Naruto drops a black hole right in front of all of them. This is where Ishiki tries to kind of use his own absorbent, what's it called, ability, but of course a black hole is much stronger than just some absorbent ability from a Nutsuki. So of course it destroys that whole kind of place. Right now black hole's increasing, but this is where Naruto stops the black hole and makes the black hole just disappear. But this is where before he makes it disappear, he actually transforms into a white hole and appear at, well, the Utsutsuki home. This is where, well, before he transformed into a white hole, mostly he absorbed a couple of stars and all that because he went up in space and all that. And of course he can easily breathe because he just makes the imagination to stop. Well, what's it called? Well, mostly make him, well, imagine him to being able to breathe outside, mostly in space. Of course, he absorbs a bunch of black stars with the black hole he still has, with Ishiki's kind of just body being in there and all that. But of course, he transforms into a white hole, appears in the Utsutsuki planet and others just being in there. Makes the white hole expand to a very huge star, mostly like a supernova and all that. And a bunch of shit just launches from the white hole straight to the, what's it called, Utsutsuki planet. Destroying it in Mach 20 speed, like very high speed. Destroying it in such an instant, but yeah. Of course, Naruto just disappears after that, but yeah. This is what, well, he just destroys the Utsutsuki home planet, but yeah. Of course, he knows about Kaguya's existence and all that, so of course, Naruto, he just imagined himself being with Kaguya. Kaguya is confused and says, who are, this is where Naruto, he just said, I could always do this. It was just not that fun of me not using the other abilities. I imagine you dead. This is where Kaguya is actually killed in an instant and just say, how? This is where she dies. This is where, well, Naruto says, because I fucking can. I'm the god of this fucking world. This is where we go into now, like somewhat of a time skip. Of course, the Akatsuki are dead and a bunch of other threats are dead. Of course, the Tsuchikage was now an alliance, and even what's called the Mist Village managed to get an alliance with the Kao Village, and well, the Kazekage, even though Inoki didn't want to make an alliance, but he had to, or he would have died from Naruto's wrath. But yeah, of course, well, world peace kind of happened in a very, not very great way, unlike Naruto kind of making this peace and all that. It's mostly kind of a false peace, but they can't really do shit towards the clan of, well, so they can't really do much to a clan called the Sosoryuku, meaning the clan of imagination, because that is the clan what Naruto kind of made from the whirlpool. This clan has, well, mostly 2 children right now in the clan, but of course Naruto being kind of the leader for right now. But of course, well, the clan has a boy with kind of greenish hair that has black, but also kind of yellow highlights, but mostly black and green. And of course, he's basically Ziana and Naruto's child. And of course, his half brother, who is actually having mostly black with whitish hair, but somewhat yellow highlights. And his what's called mother is Shiroi and what's called Naruto. But yeah. So of course, these two kids are actually the same age. So it would have been twins, but what's it called? They're not like fully blood and all that. But of course, they kind of have the ability of either Shiroi or Sayana. But of course, well, they have the power of imagination, just like their father Naruto. Who Naruto kind of just became the greatest in the whole fucking world, like the strongest, because his ability of imagination can instantly just kill anyone. He can just imagine someone just being dead and done, being erased, deleted from this world, and can easily just make a lot of things. But yeah, this is what everyone is really having to live under this false peace because if any war starts, Naruto would just obliterate in an instant. But yeah, but this is the end of this what if. Yes, I'm not doing any side spin-off or anything, but yeah. Of course, Neji did have a child with what's it called Samui and even Tenten, but yeah, whatever. Like his kids can what's it called just I already explained about the Byakugan and other. But yeah, the advanced ones. But of course, with all that happening, Hinata, whatever, I'm just gonna kill her off, but yeah. But other than that, this is the end of this what if. Yes, the very end of this what if. Of course, this is where, well, there's not going to be any spin-off. No, that was just me kind of thinking randomly at that time. But of course, this is where, yeah, this is the end of part 8. Now, I'm going to do part 3 of what's called, not part 3, part 4 of What If Naruto, what's called, was the Fox Smart Arc, and What If Naruto met and trained with Kakuzu. But yeah, other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, and good night. Bye. Potato.